Life is full of contradiction. The blazing sun of Spain, a stark English winter. A Spanish princess, a servant of the bedchamber. My work is hard, my duties many. The royal household invites its dangers. I have seen war, adventure, death, and love. I have witnessed Queen Katherine marry twice. You may question my loyalty, but not all royal secrets are made to be uncovered.
In 1531, Catalina of Motril, a servant of Catherine of Aragon, is tracked down by Spanish agents. Henry VIII wants to dissolve his marriage to Catherine. Everything rests on whether Catherine's first marriage to Prince Arthur, Henry's brother, was consummated. As a servant of her bedchamber, Catalina would have had intimate knowledge of Catherine's marriages to Arthur and Henry. What does she know? What did she see? Does Catalina hold the key to one of the biggest secrets in Tudor history? Catalina was born in Motril, Granada, a Muslim territory, until it was taken by Spanish Christian forces in 1492. Many Muslims emigrated to North Africa. Those that couldn't were considered spoils of war and were enslaved. It's likely this was Catalina's fate. Once enslaved, she joined Catherine of Aragon's royal household. We don't know who Catalina's parents were. It's likely that she was North African. We don't even know if Catalina was her real name. It's likely that she was named after her mistress, Catherine. And indeed, Catalina was the most common name given to slaves in Aragon who converted to Christianity. In 1501, 15-year-old Catherine of Aragon set sail from Spain to England in order to marry Henry VII's eldest son and heir, Prince Arthur. Amongst her retinue was Catalina. They arrive in Plymouth on the 2nd of October, 1501. Both Catherine and Catalina were likely to have been of a similar age. They were exchanging the Spanish court for an English one, experiencing together new customs, different weather, and a new language. Catalina probably felt a mixture of emotions on arriving in England. Would she now no longer be a slave? Catalina was not the only person of colour in the English court, or even in the whole of England at that time. What was it like to be in a new court where people were staring at you and making comments about your background and your appearance? Catherine and Arthur were married in Old St Paul's Cathedral in November 1501. Following the ceremony, Catalina would have had to have prepared the bed that was used for their wedding night. Her role also included changing the bed linen, fetching items for the princess, and she is recorded as attending to secret or private services of Her Highness's chamber. Catalina's position would have required discretion, trustworthiness, and absolute loyalty. Because the royals wouldn't have been left alone in the room together, Catalina would have had intimate knowledge of Catherine's private life, including details of her wedding night with Arthur. 5 months later, disaster struck. Arthur succumbed to a mysterious illness, the sweating sickness, and died. Catherine was widowed. The Tudor court is in crisis. Both Catherine and Catalina are unsure of what their fates will be. The English-Spanish alliance is hanging by a thread. Is there a way out of this predicament? Arthur had a brother, the young Prince Henry. But he was forbidden from marrying his brother's widow unless their marriage had not been officially consummated. Catherine and the women around her were adamant that the marriage had not been consummated, but it would be difficult to prove one way or another. Only a handful of people would have known the truth. One of those was Catalina. The uncertainty meant permission was sought from the Pope, which he granted. So Henry and Catherine were married in 1509, shortly after Henry had ascended the throne. We don't know what happened to Catalina after Catherine married Henry and she became queen. It's possible that Catalina was a witness to some of the most difficult moments in Catherine's life. Queens were expected to provide heirs. Catherine gave birth 6 times, but only one child survived, Mary I. At some point, Catalina left Catherine's service and she journeyed back to Granada. There she met a North African crossbow maker called Oviedo, and they married and had 2 daughters. Because she left Catherine's service and married, this suggests she was no longer a slave. After Oviedo's death, she returned home to Motril. By 1525, Henry is desperate for a male heir and determined to divorce Catherine. His gaze begins to wander towards Anne Boleyn. He argued his marriage was invalid because Catherine had consummated her marriage with Arthur, his brother. Catherine was questioned in humiliating detail about her relations with Arthur. But the results were proved inconclusive. Who might hold the key? In 1531, Spanish agents pursue Catalina for testimony about her former mistress. The records say that she is to be thoroughly examined so she may say all she knows. Had Catherine and Arthur's marriage really been consummated? Catalina's testimony would be pivotal, but we have no record of what her answers were to the Spanish delegation. The lack of written evidence suggests that Catalina may have refused to comment, remaining loyal to Catherine. Or her testimony may have been destroyed. Or she may have died before they reached her. After 1531, Catalina vanishes from the records. Despite the large gaps in our understanding, it's clear Catalina lived a remarkable life. She survived being enslaved, taken to an alien land, and then successfully negotiated the perils of the Tudor court. She is one of history's forgotten witnesses. Did Catalina take one of the biggest secrets of the royal bedchamber to her grave? What do you think?